Welcome to Kix Gaming. This is Papa Kix. Skullmaster has skulls that spin around his head. These skulls deal damage every time they touch a monster, even if you are moving. It's this feature that makes Skullmaster a top-tier daily maze hunter. Let's look at his skills before we get into it. He has multiple hunter-specific perks. More Skull Layers is his version of Distance. It increases his attack range and the number of total skulls summoned. You are limited to 3 of this perk. More Skulls is his version of Multi-Shot. It increases the total number of skulls without increasing the distance. As you get more of this perk, the skulls spread out, helping you to deal damage more consistently. Without this perk, the skulls are lined up with huge gaps. You are limited to 2 of this perk. His last perk is one of 3 choices, an elemental enchantment of poison, fire, or ice. Skullmaster can deal poison damage just like Huntalisk, fire just like Ifrit, or freeze enemies like Frozen Queen or Snowman. But you are limited to just one element, so you have to pick carefully. Like all great daily maze hunters, he has lifesteal, and he has Demon Pact so he can hit hard. The first reason Skullmaster is so good in hard mode is that his skulls deal damage to targets that are out of line of sight, such as behind walls. Combine this with ranged monster AI stopping if they are in range but not line of sight, and we get situations like this where we can kill ranged monsters in total safety. This also works on throwing hunters like Mad Doctor. On melee hunters, this trick isn't useful since they still run to you. Which brings us to the second reason Skullmaster is so good here. Because we can attack while moving, all we need to do is run past the monsters as our skulls hit them. Once you get used to it, it's low risk clearing. This becomes very easy when we have a couple layers of more skulls. Important. The skulls always spin clockwise. This means if you run circles around the monster, you want to do so against the spin, not with it. Look at how big of a difference it makes. This has caused some confusion in the past. Some people think attack speed increases the speed of his skulls while moving. It does not. I believe what they are experiencing is the clockwise, anti-clockwise movement in action. That said, attack speed is still helpful when he stops moving and begins casting. You can spin very fast with enough attack speed perks. So because I recommend Skullmaster at all levels, let's do a perk priority list instead of which default perks to bring. If you plan on using the line of sight, your best choice is more skull layers. This will speed up your run quite a bit. So pick this first if you're a level 1. Lifesteal is pretty important to heal up after you take damage. You only need 1 perk of this. More skulls is very useful, especially while killing monsters on your way to the boss. Being able to run by everything and obliterate them quickly is very nice. You definitely want an elemental enchantment. Surprisingly, all 3 elements did very well. You'd think poison damage would be the best since it will kill the boss faster, but fire's burst damage more than made up for the lack of poison. Even ice worked very well. When monsters are slowed, they are easy to hit and barely attack since they spend more time moving into position before attacking. This is especially true for the boss. I've covered this in previous videos, but it's an important strategy that you can use in maze and even abyssal maze. If the boss cannot hit you, he will run to where you were standing when his attack failed. It's where you were, not where you currently are. So while he is moving, you can hit him a ton and he ignores you while he travels. And if he's slowed by freeze, it takes him much longer to move to his destination, allowing you to attack freely the whole time. Regardless of what element you pick, remember to use the line of sight to hit through walls. This will make the run much faster. The last perk you should consider is Demon Pact. Going from 10 damage to 25 is significant. However, more skull layers is more important, and we don't want to get too low on our max HP. So I recommend this as your 3rd or 4th pick and not your 1st. Higher level players can take it earlier. Skullmaster is a hunter that you will definitely want to use save and leave to get the right perks. Check out episode 2 of this series to see how that works. And that's really all there is to it. Skullmaster can help you unlock insane mode easily. He's also a great choice if you run hard mode for gold and hunter cards. Let me know in the comments which hunter you'd like me to cover next in this series. Please consider joining my community supporters. You guys continue to be awesome. I'm also legally required to ask you to like and subscribe. And thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Maybe. Papa Kicks out. Do you want 5K gold? Of course you do. There is a hidden redemption code in every video I make. In my last video, Chaos Dungeon Guide, it was hidden on this screen. At first it may look like a normal tier list, but if you look closely you'll notice a couple of things that are wrong. You might notice that there's a missing hunter for starters. Next you might notice that there are 2 kings and 2 Zeuses. Zeusi? These hunters are the 16 letters. If you take the first letter of each name, G for Grey Wolf, P for Plague Doctor, C for Crow, etc., you get the following. But there's still that missing letter, so we only have 15 out of 16 for the code. Why would I skip a letter? If you think about it, the reason is that there is no hunter that starts with that letter. There aren't a lot of letters that do not have hunters, so it's simply a matter of trial and error to figure out which letter it could be. There's only 4 possibilities, so it'd be very quick to find the winning letter. Jester brings me 1 letter closer to a full alphabet.